Namaste and welcome, beloved and mighty companions. Thank you for your devotion to God, that we may join together to see what's true in this holy relationship and celebrate the holy relationship with infinite love that we are. And I'm seeing that this can have no exceptions. Because if we have exceptions, we're making exceptions about who we are. That's the play of the ego. Infinite light. See that infinite light has no exceptions. It just is what it is. And had a beautiful joining with Teresa yesterday, and we're just going to start again to record these. So you can play them back and see how really clear you are in these joining sessions and how beautifully you speak. Each being can speak to Jesus and hear Jesus's voice and be comforted. That's what he's offering, a one-on-one with everyone, without exception. No exceptions. We were laughing about the last one to wake up. Or the last one, or I'll never wake up, or all those thoughts that seem to arise. And he's just reminding us all, stay as the light, this light that we notice, the underrated, undervalued, ever-present what is. Infinite, unchanging light. When he says, let all things be as they are, let there be light. Nothing other than light. And this morning he was reminding me, we had a meditation on lesson 44. And there's several of these quote unquote light meditations. And he's reminding me that all of life, because light is life, is just a meditation, not on something. The reason why meditation becomes so laborious is that we're meditating on something. See that the light doesn't meditate on something. There's not an object that it meditates on. It doesn't know what an object is. So usually we're meditating on our thoughts, like batting thoughts as flies, or I don't like that thought, or why this thought, or then it's like it spin. You'll see it spin. We're just observing what's happening to see that the light doesn't observe anything. Is the light observing anything? It's not an observer. See that the light doesn't observe anything. It just is. And Jesus is reminding, go back to those lessons and spend time dropping every thought, just like we do during the light circle. Drop every thought, every idea that you think you are. Because thinking is not part of the light. We can ask light that. Does thinking exist in light? No thinking. And there's such a deep belief. We can ask Jesus, is there a belief, a desire below my awareness to experience thinking? And see how thinking is the desire to deny divinity. So to help us wean from thinking, he gives us thoughts of God, like lesson 282. I will not be afraid of love today. And he's saying, know that thinking, thoughts are what are the miscreation, that the belief in thoughts, and then fear rises. See that in the light. It was so beautiful with Teresa, what he was telling her. Just stay as the light. It's just, don't pretend there's anything other than light. And we can hear, he'll tell all of us, ask him. Is the solution light? It's already given. See, we have to stay with what's already given, because there's just such a pattern in consciousness. How consciousness play? No, we just play. The thought is the most valuable commodity. And see that does the light in our direct experience know what thought is actually? Ask the light, you know what thought? No. Thought's unknown to infinite light. It's unknown to us. It's not even natural to us. Ask the light. Is thought natural to us? Here at the light says, and if it works for you to ask Jesus or the Holy Spirit, ask the Holy Spirit. Is light natural? Light's natural or thought's natural. So Jesus told her, just stay with me and talk to me all day. So that you're no longer talking to yourself, the idea. See, we spend the day talking to the idea. Let's ask the light. Do we spend the day talking to the idea that we have of ourselves? And then that makes it seem real. Just notice how it's one thought comes and another thought comes to counteract it. Well, maybe this thought, but then maybe that thought. But how about this thought? Notice how that is trying to find solution in thought. And that's where fear, ask Jesus, ask the light. Is that where fear comes from? Believing thoughts. It's where future comes from. It's where everything other than the light comes from. From the idea, from stapling thoughts together and going, oh, that's me. Is a thought who you are? And here the light tell us. I will not be afraid of love today. So see, as when we rest as the light, dropping all thoughts, all emotions, all the kerfuffling, because we can. Jesus told me that you can drop it. But I could see, I needed to see how I didn't want to drop it. The dependency, the complacency around thought. And he even says that in lesson 44, when you drop the thoughts, just notice how the relaxation that comes from dropping thoughts. Make no investment in those. Ask the light. What are the light's instructions around thoughts? The only way to see evil is to have a thought about it. Ask the light. Is the only way to see evil and fear is through thoughts? So the reflections, again, coming through each brother is so beautiful. I will not be afraid of love today. Jesus, will you show me a desire, any desire below my level of awareness to experience being afraid of love? See, the only love we can be afraid of is the concept that we have love. I mean, that was so spectacular. I may ask her if we can share that talk with Jesus. If she would give her consent to that. It's so stunningly beautiful. He said to her, you are afraid of who you think I am. Who do you think I am? The thought, the concept of what Jesus has is. See who I am really. So whenever we're afraid of love, it's the fear of the concept that we have about what love is. So see that the light doesn't even know what a concept of love is. We're stapling together thoughts and believing them, and then they feel sorry and, oh my gosh, it's gonna get me. So we've made a love in concept that love hurts. Listen to the beliefs in consciousness. The belief that love hurts. The belief that love can be lost. Every somebody done me wrong song. 50 ways to leave your lover. 1,150 zillion ways to define ourselves in a way we cannot be defined. Seeing light is so much easier than trying to find love. We find love. The body package and the character, we were talking about roles this week, all the characterizations through thought of what an other is and what an other can give me and what I can give an other. And see that the light just is. It doesn't have a concept about, does the light have a concept about love? Does it even know what love is actually? And it'll go, no. It doesn't need to know about love because it is love. Light is love. There are no words for what light is. So it's starting new, fresh, naked, as someone said, not knowing anything about love so that love can teach of itself. The infinite nature of what love is, infinite, unlimited. In the light, is the light limited? Light being love, unlimited. If I could but realize this today, salvation would be reached for all the world. I will not be afraid of love today. I will choose. I will cease to choose to be everything other than love, everything other than light. See how it's a choice. Let's ask the light, is it choice not to be love? We can't choose not to be love. Can we choose a dream that we're not love? Hatred, violence, fear, sadness, all the forms of fear. Like he says, everything, there's only love. And then there's the concept of love, which is fear. That's pretty clear. All the desired experience arising that are played out in the field of consciousness to deny light, love. If I could but realize I'm not afraid of love today, would salvation be reached? Jesus is reminding me, see that I offer you everything. See that this voice offers you everything. And cease to pretend that any other voice can offer you anything. Does any other voice but the voice for God exist in honesty of God when we look? This is the decision not to be insane and to accept myself as God himself. Wow. He's not saying accept myself as sort of God. Accept myself as the idea I have about myself. Accept myself as God himself. And my Father and my source created me. Let's just ask, did the Father create me as light? Is that all there is? Everything else is a wanting for something else, or a dream of something else, other. This, the determination not to be asleep in dreams of death, while truth remains forever living in the joy of love. Jesus, is there any desire below my level of awareness to be asleep in dreams of death? Will you show me? I'm willing to see any energetic investment below my level of awareness that makes it seem like I can be anything other than infinite. Anything other than unchanging. Anything other than perfect wholeness, light. I'm willing to see any concept, conglomeration of thoughts that would make it seem that I can possibly be the slightest bit afraid of love, which would be a twitch. And just stand with you and hear your voice call me home. Call me back to myself. Living in the joy of love, the light. Let there be light. And this choice to recognize the self, it's just a choice to recognize because we've chosen not to recognize it. See the contrast that he's giving. Light, choice not to be light, ouch. Ouch points to light. See that the ouchie points to light. Let's ask the light. Isn't in every ouchie a light? See, we're not even seeing that we're doing ouchies. Ask the light. Are we pretending like we're pretending like ouchies or ouchies are natural? Let's ask the light. Are ouchies natural? No. We're freedom from ouchies. Is the light no pain? Let's look in the light. No pain. The end to no pain, no gain. See, the light doesn't need to gain anything, therefore it doesn't need pain. Pain is trying to gain something. When the light needs nothing to be what it is, it just is. Pain is just a story that we're telling ourselves, like the ego doesn't want to hear that. But if we really see that, we're free of pain forever, da-da. Because then we can go directly to the light, directly to Jesus and just go, show me my way through this. And it's going to be fast. It was fast. Oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. Oh my gosh, you just start falling in love with the seeing because you see it's so easy. It's so easy with Jesus, so easy. So I don't know if I can remember the whole thing about it, but yesterday, Christy, I guess Jesus will tell me what I really need to remember. Let him be in control of the memory. I'm going, I don't have any memory anymore. Oh, that's why you end up being so happy. Sounds terrible. It's just wonderful. So happiness doesn't need a memory, Jesus told. So yesterday, Christy was asking about weed allergies. This is common. How common is this in consciousness? It was just so simple. Maybe she'll do a recording on that. So I leave it to, yeah, beautiful. It's just beautiful. Her talk with Jesus. We just sat down, let's join. She talked to Jesus about it and told her all about it and where the desire was and all the pieces and parts and to look at. And then he told her, okay, so you can go have wheat. I don't know how long that was. It was like maybe like less than 10 minutes. It was like, just went through the whole thing to show her where the denial of love is and what to look at. I don't know if there's more simplicity than we can have than that voice. And just listen. And it was very practical and very simple. And she went and had weed. It's just a looking. What hurts is not looking. That is so helpful to see. The hurt is the pretend that we can't talk to Jesus and be guided by our own voice of truth within. Simple. So he's the one who'll tell us where all the denials of love are. Where we're dreaming of death. Jesus, is there any way in there? You want to show me anything else? And we just keep asking. Do you want to show me anything else? And he's reminding me that that sheet is given, you know, so if it just seems like it's not straightforward, or, okay, what do I do next? Just where you can refer to the sheet or ask him. He'll tell you, okay, I'm not sure what to do next, and just go, Jesus, I'm not sure what to ask you next. And he'll tell you. You just have to ask him. See, just ask him. And this choice to recognize the self whom God created is as the son he loves, who remains my one identity. Is there more than one in the light of divine being? Can we find that as experience? Jesus is reminding me, it's not wanting to be one. Not wanting. I don't want to be one. It's so beautiful to see that. And I don't want it. The I doesn't, that's what the I is. It's a big, I don't want to be like. Again, all the spiritual awakenings, and you just look at them, satsang after satsang. Why am I not seeing that I'm light? Because you don't want to be. You don't want to. I can't see that I'm light. No, you don't want to have you want an experience other than light. The Jesus D code. That's the Jesus D code on the language. I feel sadness. You desire an experience. If it's not for us to go around telling people, no, you desire. It's for us, because there are no people out there to tell that to. Does light know any people to tell that to? No. See, the light sees no error. So it's for us to go, whatever's here. The play in consciousness to turn around and go, okay, is anything appearing in consciousness am I twitching off of anything that seems to be the out there? Since there's no out there, let's ask the light, is there any out there? No out there. There's just here, what is. Then the little idea, the little rat comes out of the hole, and then we start following it down the street like it owns us. We buy the rat for the day. The rat thoughts, the little rats running around, thousands of them. Sometimes, and we know this now, the mind's more trained now, we could see, because we could start to see that's what we were doing all day. Someone said that. I just talk to myself all day. That is fantastic seeing. That's fantastic. That's admitting the denial. The denial is that we're having a little conversation with other beings. It's so humbling when you start seeing that the conversations you're having with seemingly another being are all inside of the idea you have about who you think you are. They're conversations with yourself about all your beliefs, and you're seemingly talking to another being. Now that just ask the light that. You're talking to a concept you have of someone. That'll fry a few circuits. You're having a conversation with every belief you believe. That's what we're having conversations with. Every belief we believe, every desire, that's what the conversation is. That's why we cannot join. We can only join in light. We cannot join through talking. Does talking join anyone? Does it bring anyone closer in the light of divine being? See if it does. That's an idea, that having a conversation with someone can bring you closer. That is the Death Star. Ask the light. The only place we can join is in sameness and oneness in totality, infinite light of being. That's why these relationships are not, when we join, they're not the horizontal, where have you lived before and what have you done in your life conversation. See, when we're asking those kinds of questions in a conversation, we're trying to get certainty on who we are. We can't get certainty on who we are through that kind of conversation exchange. We can only get certainty of who we are by who we are, by light. You'll start to notice how these kinds of conversations, like it's like a little nervousness comes up. We want to say something. That's why Jesus is saying, just speak my words. Speak my words, so that it's not this slow. You'll just start to notice when you're sitting in a conversation, as the mind gets trained, the wanting, the desire for something from an other. You'll notice it's like, oh, I feel predatory. You'll start to, because you're a predator to yourself, to your own idea. It kills, these conversations kill the idea that we have of ourselves. The whole point is to kill the recognition that the light is here, in that attempt to have a horizontal communication where it can't be found. It can only be found as divine light. The only conversation, Jesus said, the only conversation really to have is with me. Right now, this is the function. The only conversation to have right now is with me. Okay. Training wheels, get on the light trikes, as Renee calls them. We get our little light tricycles, and then we just talk to Jesus. Father, your name is love, and so is mine. Let's ask the light, is my name love? Does the light say, my name is happiness? Actually, ask the light. Supreme happiness. If we keep interacting with the hologram as though it's true, it exists, we deny our name, the true name. We will feel apart from ourselves. So we're here to see that the hologram was made for the experience of feeling apart. So we can play in the hologram. Play, light, let there be light. We need Jesus to teach us how to play in the hologram. We need that one voice. Ask the light, do we need that one voice to show us, so that we're awake to identity, true identity that's always here? Such is the truth. And can the truth be changed by merely giving it another name? See, we try to staple our own name over the truth. Bob, Joe, Kay, Auntie Thelma, Uncle John, grandfather, Visa Bob. It doesn't matter. Just see how these are labels being painted over infinite. As soon as we can still call, I'm asking you, can my niece still call me Aunt Kay? Jesus doesn't say no to that. Just seeing that there's no identity in it. There's not, as soon as someone says your name, you see how you'll start to see how the ego uses these things. As soon as a name comes out for a being, just notice how many thoughts, feelings, and emotions become stacked around that one word of a name for a being. All the conceptual ideas, all the history, all the thoughts about that being, all the prior interactions with that being, like bloom out and seem to go out, but they're here. So it's all our concepts about ourselves. And that's what we're talking to. So we're not happy until Aunt Kay is not Aunt Kay and conceptual. until Aunt Kay is in holy relationship with Chloe, the light within myself, infinite. That's holy relationship. That's a gift that Chloe brings to me, is being the light within me. And can the truth be changed by merely giving it another name? The name of fear is simply a mistake. So whether it's giving a body a name, giving love a name, ourselves a name, any other name but light is simply a mistake. It's an error of thought. Any other thought believed is just an error of thought. It's just an error. And for which we know there's the solution is already given, a miracle, a change in perception, a change in that sticky, jello, gluey thing that this thought is this, bing. And in this, we will be fearful. Ask the light when we let those thoughts congeal, when we are complacent about thought congealing, will we be afraid? And Jesus said, this need not be, just stay as the light and talk to me. Oh my goodness. The name, it's just a mistake. How much relief is that for us to see that fear is a mistake? Let me not be afraid of truth today. We'll just ask Jesus, will you show me any areas below my level of awareness where I've decided to be afraid to see the truth? And show me how easily I can just look with you and see nada, nothing. All pain, all suffering is just merely a fear of the truth. I'm not willing to look at the truth. But then when Jesus shows us to it, like he does every day in these light circles, so much happiness. So much love. I will not be afraid of love today because I am love. To fear love is to fear myself, what I am. We can ask the light that. To fear love, is it to fear myself? See, it's a desire to fear myself. Ask the light that. We're not fearing Jesus. Ask the light, are we fearing Jesus? Fear's not of Jesus. It's fear of the concept that we made of who we are, so that we won't look to see that it's nothing. It's just a mistake. It's boo-boo, oops. So these are just oopsie conversations with you. With Jesus. Oh, that's a little boo-boo there, isn't it? Okay, that's the conversation. He's just going to show us where the little oopsies are. The oopsie errors of thought. To let your yoke be light. Our yoke that we took on the world, Atlas. And, as he says, Atlas picked up a world and carrying it around. And then we're going, gee, why is this so heavy? There's no responsibility other than to look. That's our only responsibility. Look to see that it ain't so. And there's no effort in looking. See that looking's not the effort part. Effort is denial of light. But it'll play like that. It'll play like we need effort at first, because that's the only thing the ego understands is effort, because its whole function is effort. So it seems to be you get these assignments to Jesus and they're effortful just because we believe so much in it and we're operating out of our belief system. So it seems like it's taken effort, but just see that the light has no effort whatsoever. It doesn't know what effort is. So effort is occurring, it's occurring through the dream that effort is necessary. Jesus is saying this need not be, talk to me. And see that no effort's required. It's just sober, straight on seeing the desire. And it's like, oh, and it's the release of the idea that effort's necessary to wake. The dream of effort for the effortless one. Amen. So we'll just sit in a few minutes as the light. And let the memory of that light just fully bloom. And is that light say, I will not be afraid of love today. So Jesus is reminding me again to say, stay as a light and record what he's telling you. We all have laptops or ways of recording screen, and just record what he's telling you. Just listen to him and say what he's telling you. Listen to him, say what he's telling you. You can work through the worksheet if that's helpful. So you can go back and listen to how clear you really are when you can hear him and be reminded that you can hear him. Jesus using the technology to go right to heaven. Or join in a joining session if you'd like to do it. You'll see how clear you are. You can join in a joining and we'll record it for you and put it out on YouTube. Now everybody go, oh, no, it'll be private unless Jesus says otherwise, and we'll talk about it. This is how we serve. We serve by bearing the voice of the light. We serve by bearing the voice of the light. Because it's our own voice. We're serving ourselves. See, there's no one, it's not for anyone. The ego's going to go, oh, what are people going to think? No, there's no people to think. Nobody's thinking. No thoughts are real. Ask Jesus. There's no thought thinking. It's for us. Amen.